Hi friends. So let's start with installation setup and database schema setup. First, go to this link. I have given this document attached in resources. So you can go to those steps and download this tar.gz file. And meanwhile it get downloaded, let me tell you about the structure of Hive. Hive is a data warehouse tool where you can store unstructured and structured data. So unstructured means a normal text file where fields are separated by space or pipe or tab, and structured means tables from other database RDBMS like your MySQL, Postgres, Teradata. So I'll keep all this information in a tabular format on my distributed environment. In Hive there are two things. One is Metastore and another is our data. Metastore means all information related to my tables. So I can configure Hive to store all this information in some RDBMS. So for example, I can create my environment like Hive will store all my table information in a meta store, and my meta store is pointing to some RDBMS. For example, MySQL or Postgres or something else. By default, Derby. And my data, my actual real data rows will be stored on HDFS or S3 in distributed environment. Now what happens when we install Hive? We configure at the time of installation only. So we'll do these steps in next lecture, where we will configure MySQL so that MySQL will contain all information about my data that Hive will keep. Now in Hive, we run SQL queries on table. To execute SQL queries, we have three ways. One is using Hive shell command, which is CLI. The another is JDB, connecting our Java program with JDBC ODBC driver or Thrift server. Another is Hive web interface. We can provide our query via these three ways. That query will go to Hive execution engine or driver, and that driver component will parse our query, create a logical plan. That logical plan will be converted to execution plan. Then finally it get optimized, and then at the end our physical plan. So these are the terminologies in Hive we'll discuss later in deep. So final our the physical plan gets executed using MapReduce program. So internally Hive converts our SQL query to a MapReduce program and create a jar which send this jar to HDFS location where our data resides and bring us the result. So that's the structure, that's the high level of working of Hive. And here, as I told you earlier, the meta store where table information, and if our meta store is pointing to some database, then that is why it is RDBMS. So I hope it's clear. And since now our tar is downloaded, so we can switch to start our installation. So here is my Apache Hive jar downloaded. Mm. Now I will unextract it, tar minus xvfz, and then Apache Hive. When I run this command, I'll get a folder here. So this is the actual Hive setup. Inside this conf, we will configure our environment, and inside bin, we have some scripts that will run. So my Hive home is path till this. Also, I have Java JDK home set, as well as Hadoop home. So these three things you must have. So complete this, then we'll start setting the Hive properties, Hive config files inside HiveConf folder. Conf. Now inside conf folder, we have few things to set. First, let's go to hive-env.sh file, ls. So inside conf, we have this hive-env.sh. Just do vi and add Hadoop home variable with its value. Then second thing, add hive conf directory path, so which is nothing but this current path. It will be better if you install Scala, or not exactly install but download Scala 211 tar also, and extract it somewhere and add its library path also in Hive aux jar. So this will be used when we run Hive with Spark. So these three things you need to add: Hadoop home, Hive conf directory, and Hive auxiliary jar path. Now you have configured hive-env.sh. Now add Hive home path in your bash profile, and then in the same conf folder you will see a file Hive default XML template. Copy this as Hive-site.xml. We will configure a lot of things in Hive-site.xml. So for example, in Hive, I want my Metastore to be stored in MySQL or Postgres. So all those details will be placed inside Hive-site.xml. So you need MySQL setup. Please install MySQL here, and also you will need a MySQL connector jar. I have given details in resource file, so you can go through those links, go through those steps, and download MySQL connector jar and place that MySQL connector jar. So I have downloaded one from Google, and then I have this jar file I have kept in lib folder of my Hive. Here, MySQL connector jar, because Hive will contact with MySQL about metadata. If you are going with Postgres, you can install Postgres, then you can download Postgres connector jar and put it here inside Apache Hive lib. So now we have copied hivesite.xml. Let's change things. First, we will add information about our MySQL database. So inside this hivesite.xml, search for this key javaxjdo connection URL. So you will find this key in name, and in value you have to put it like this: JDBC colon MySQL, then your IP address, your machine IP address, your database name. So I would like to keep it like Hive3 Metastore or Hive3 Meta, and create database if not exist equal to true. So it will create if that database not exist, but we'll create it separately. So let's keep your URL like this. This should be the format. Now, second thing you have to add is JavaX JDO connection driver name. So in this VI editor, search for this word. You'll find it here, and in name, in value, just add com.mysql jdbc.driver. There might be some other value, so you have to add it like this properly. Next, we will add username, so our MySQL user and MySQL password. Let's first add MySQL username. My username of MySQL is Hive only, so I've kept it as it is. And password, so whatever password of the same user you have, property, name, value, Hive. So in this way, we have to set four properties in Hive-site.xml: connection URL, driver, username, and password. Once you set this all, then run few Hadoop commands. We have to make few directories like Hadoop mkdir temp, then warehouse path, then give permission like group with user to both. So I already existed this path, so I don't need to create. So you can create it using mkdir. So run these four commands. So we'll have this setup. Now why we created these folders? We'll put this location inside Hive-site.xml and tell Hive that whatever tables we will save, just keep all those table here. Whatever database we will save, just keep all those information here. So your actual data will reside at this location in HDFS. So there is a property hive.metastore.warehouse.dir. So you can set this path here. So I'd like to keep it like /user /hive3/warehouse. So go to this file, search for this property hive metastore warehouse directory dir and set this value. So this is my warehouse, and whatever table I will create, whatever database I will create will go into this folder. Now we have created warehouse directory where my data will reside. Now we will create schema database in MySQL. So my all metadata will be stored in MySQL database. For this, we have to create a database in MySQL with same name that we configured in Hive-site.xml. We have put it in connection URL, right? Yeah. So what is the value we have put for this? Some JDBC colon MySQL, right? Hive 3 meta. So let's create this database. MySQL minus u root minus p. You can use same user what you have put in Hive-site.xml. show databases. So here if you see, my database is already created. Suppose I have to put like some another database, what I'll run, create database Hive demo. Then I will assign all permissions to this. So my user is Hive in my Hive-site.xml. So I'll assign all permission to Hive user, which is identified by Hive on this database. So database name is Hive demo. Then I'll run finally flush privileges. Exit. Now we have created database in MySQL. Then we have to run a schema utility. So Hive, inside Hive setup, inside bin, we have to run this command schema tool db type mysql init schema. Currently I am in conf. I will go inside bin. There is a script schema tool. So I will run this command here. Okay, before it impact, let me change my db. It should be new and clean database. Let's go to bin and run the command schema tool db type mysql and init schema. Just make sure your driver class is existing in lib before that and your MySQL is up. So we'll get this at the end. Schema to completed, initialization script completed. Now let's go back to MySQL. Show databases. Use Hive demo. Show tables. So it was new database. You will see that lot of tables got created with that command. 74 tables. So a lot of tables and lot of transaction constraints got created. So like this tbls, so whatever table we will create in Hive, that information go into this tbls table. We'll discuss most of the tables here in further lectures. So the only motive was to let you know that how to create a schema. Now we have created schema. Now for Thrift server, we have to set two properties in Hive-site.xml. One is Hive Metastore URI that will be contains Thrift colon, IP address and port number. You can keep like 10,000 also or 9083. Same port you have to mention another property Hive Metastore dot port. So let's add these two properties. So copy this and look for this property into Hive-site.xml. If you don't find this, just create a new one. So If you don't find, just create a tag property name value and then close the property. So description is not required, it's optional, so you can even delete this. Hive.metastore.port 9083, and then the second property that we checked is metastore.uri. It's coming in some description, so let's check for another one. Yeah, here hive.metastore.uris and the value is thrift colon localhost colon 903. So these two property you need to set in your Hive-site.xml and your thrift server is ready. That's it. Your setup is done. How you can verify? Just relog in and run which hive. It should show you your path. If it's not showing, go to vi.bashrc and here you will have a variable export path. Just add export path equal to $path colon hi home slash bin so that you can run directly Hive tools from anywhere in shell. Check first your Hadoop is up or not. So you must have your Hadoop up. Then run Hive shell. See, my Hive shell is connected. Now we have set up Thrift server also. So how to start Thrift server? There is a command for this. Hive-service space Metastore. Just run this command. Copy, paste. Starting Hive Metastore. That's it. You can check it if your port is open. See, so service is listening on this port and we have configured this port for our Hive Metastore. So let's go to Hive shell. Show databases. Just like our MySQL, we can run this command show databases, then show tables. I'm sorry. To select any database, run use default show tables. There are no tables, so it's just saying okay. So that was the complete setup. Thank you. In the next lecture, we'll start with create, update, delete of database tables. Learn about managed and external tables, and a lot of things. So stay updated, and I hope your setup is working. Uh, Please post any question if you are facing any issue regarding your setup, and go through the resources documents that I've attached. You will find documents related to Hadoop setup, then Hive setup, MySQL database creation, everything.